forget talent. How many numbers do you have on your social media? And that's why there's so much mediocrity being made.
For all film-related interviews, reviews, and content, please like and subscribe to Puja Talwar. You can also follow me on Twitter and on Instagram.
Abhay, nice to see you in the Bay. I thought you would be in LA.
I flew down for this, and I thought that I'm here. We wouldn't be doing virtual, we'd be doing one-on-one, but it's still virtual, it looks like.
I know. I mean,
it's not ended yet.
I don't know, it hasn't. Yeah.
Okay. Well, better safe than sorry.
True. I totally agree with you, with cases slightly on the rise, but I think we'll get back to normal soon. But how has it been for you? Yeah, I mean, how's it been? You have been in transit, kabhi LA, kabhi UK, kabhi Goa, kabhi Mumbai.
I didn't do the UK. Okay. I'm usually transiting between. Huh?
You were somewhere else. LA
no,
and
LA and Goa.
Oh,
LA and Goa. Yeah. So no, I'm used to it now. Flying between US and India has actually become like going between Bandra and Juhu for me.
I get it. To maneuver your way.
I just keep myself awake the first day, and I'm already adjusted in a day and a night. It takes about a day to get from Juhu to Bandra also now. So
that's what I meant. Totally. And now we're discussing Jungle Cry. I mean, the movie was released 2020, even received an award. And finally now, for all of us to see, and you played coach. So are you really into, football, into sports? And was it like easy getting in under the skin of this character? Did you meet the real character, the real life person that your part is not modeled on?
Well, yeah, I'd sooner watch football than cricket, I'll have you know. This is, of course, rugby, which it's kind of unusual sport for someone in India to learn and win a World Cup.
Yep.
And I think that's what makes it a bit more special. It's obviously, I mean, I did meet Rudra, the guy that I portray. It's starts off with, of course, Dr. Samanta is the man who started the Kalinga Institute. He's quite remarkable as an individual and what he's done. It's a school and a college and a hostel all in one, focused only on tribal kids. So he gives these kids an education. He gives them room and boarding, makes something out of them, gives them a future and some hope. And so that was what I found most attractive about this script. There was Paul and Rudra were the coaches. Both of the characters are there in the movie. It was, I mean, the kids that we have in the film are also the kids from the Institute.
Wow.
And I think another thing unique about it is that it's not just that rugby as a sport is unique in India, but that it's not cricket, because everything is focused only around cricket in this country.
True.
In the end of this film, when they won the World Cup, and you see that India won the World Cup for cricket at the same time.
I know, that's what I remember. I was in the newsroom. There was nothing, not even a beat about this victory. We were all only focused on, Captain Cool and his men for getting home that World Cup, because I don't think there was any other headline. It was September or October. I still remember. I was in the States when this happened.
Yeah, which of course is a big deal, and it needed to get the press. It's just that one would wish that this would have also got some amount of press and not be completely overshadowed.
Yeah.
Because it's such a remarkable story, not just of Dr. Samanta and the coaches, but the kids themselves and where they come from, and kind of a testament to the fact that we need to spread our focus on so many, because our country is huge.
Absolutely.
There's multiple communities, there's diversity. And so the focus should be on, okay, we have this, which is great, but we have this too, which has a potential to be great as well.
Totally. And seeing the number of biopics that come on cricketers, and just one Chakte was on the women's hockey team, I really don't know. And there was a Hippe Pure done long ago on football.
Yeah.
I actually haven't seen sports films also, like in Hollywood, you do have Blind Side, you have Remember the Titans, and you had The Champ on boxing, Chariots of Fire. You don't get to see that kind of stuff here. What do you think is actually the reason? What do you think is the reason? What do you think actually is the reason that we don't promote sports as a genre. It's only, I think, biopics. That's what we do.
Yeah, I think, well, we've only just opened up as a capitalist democracy. It's been what, 20, 25 years? It's pretty recent. And I think as a social democracy, not much happened. And all we had for entertainment was Bollywood and cricket. And so that's been a staple for so long. I suppose, and also we're so traditionalist in many ways. We also idolize a lot of things in people, so I suppose it takes a while for us to realize, oh, we could put the same amount of focus, idolization, tradition, and culture onto other things. We still not come around to the fact that we have access now to so many other things. We're still not out of that zone of having access only to a few. It'll take a while for that mentality to change, I suppose. Yeah.
Because I remember the time that when we were growing up, the only sports films we saw were what Hollywood dished out to us. So hardly had any, as such. Maybe one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But how has your process also changed over the years? What draws you to a script? What is that you look for? What that makes you anchor in, saying that I'll do this project?
Well, on this one, the things we discussed, the background of people involved, and how different a sport it's covering. So uniqueness for this one it was unique. So that's always something that attracts you to a script. Relatability. It's not changed. My process is still the same. I mean, how can, you come from a zone and then you kind of are defined by that zone. Some things are just fundamental, like my desire to be relatable, something I can relate to, that's not going to change. Something you don't see too often. That's always attractive. Yeah. And, so it's still pretty much the same. There's nothing much different. I obviously would like to see or be able to do work that pushes the boundaries a lot more. But it's so easy to get controversial. And in the information age where everything is so clickbait and it's all about the headline, that, people, I don't blame people for being slightly reticent in taking chances or being vocal in any way, because it's all reduced to a headline,
Absolutely. Oh, I hate the word clickbait, because when I'm told that I need a clickbait headline for my interviews, I really don't know what to do with that. So I don't know how.
I know you can't hold it. Yeah, you can't hold it against the individual. We're just all part of a system, and you have to really fight the system. And I can understand if most people would rather not and just kind of give in and like, okay, fine. How much can you fight?
That's true. Clickbait and Instagram numbers, because now that determines your worth as a journalist and a professional. Because
even as an actor in many ways, not just in this country, around the world. So it's like, forget talent. How many numbers do you have on your social media? And that's why there's so much mediocrity being made.
Absolutely. It's funny that you say that. It's just like last week. Everyone from Ajay Devgan to Nawazuddin to Abhishek, everyone said the same thing. No one's discussing picture kaisi hai, kaam kaisa kiya. Sab keh rahe ki paise kaise banaye hain. We've come down to square one. Nothing's changed in the 2 years. All that talk about content is king. Now star system is appended, kuch nahi badla.
I've been hearing this ever since I started in this industry. So it's nothing new to me. It might be surprising other people, but that's exactly the point I was trying to make 16 years ago when I started.
Yeah, true.
Right from my first movie. So no, that's just how it's always been. I think it's nice that people are positive, they're hopeful, but that kind of hides the fact that, it's always been like this. Why are you surprised? For something different to come up, it can't be supported by a capitalist setup. It needs to be like the French have it, the industry needs to be supported by the government, and there needs to be, I think the arts and at least like, let's say Medicare needs to be paid for by the people. And so that it's not dependent on returns. That's where you really see people taking chances, because you'll always have money to make the films you want to make or the art you want to create, and you'll always have free medical and health. So, Does that make any sense? You know, I mean, of course,
No,
this
I
is a
get
much
what you're
larger
saying.
discussion.
I get what you're
But if
saying.
it was supported by the taxpayer, you'd see a lot more bold content. But as long as it's all about making money, then you can't blame people for wearing the business hat on and be like, "Ye bikta nahi hai and I need to make my money." You know, if
That's
there's
the
a
issue.
support system for the art and artists, then they would also have the freedom to experiment and make
Absolutely.
bold statements.
This is what an actor also said, that how OTT has now become a dumping ground for mediocre stuff. And it's a turning point because we have the same story. Small town India, gali dal do. You know, the expletives that we hear around us, and you being a Punjabi would be the kind of expletives. And put some violence scenes, put some sex scenes, and it's done.
But I mean, sex and violence are the easiest way to be provocative. You know, so I'm all for being provocative, but those are the easiest ways to be
True,
so.
true.
And in order to be provocative without that, you have to do a little bit of creative thinking. And
True.
I think that requires some talent.
Totally, I agree with you. हम कौन सी clickbait headline दे अपनी इस interview के लोगों को?
I mean, I wish you wouldn't have to, but I suppose you have to. I suppose a clickbait title for this one, I don't know. I always end up saying things that can be easily twisted around or made to sound controversial. So I'm sure you'll find a few, you know.
Okay, but let's forget about that. But there was interesting something that you put up on Instagram, how Stanley Kubrick is living vicariously through you. So what's coming next? What's up next?
That was because I was kind of remixing the look from Clockwork Orange with the eyeshadow and the bowler hat and stuff. What's coming next is Jungle Cry for now, is what we are discussing here, and one show with Netflix called Trial by Fire, which is in post-production. Those are the only two I have ready to go. And other ones are sort of, you know, I can't talk about them till the producer allows me to do so. Absolutely. One of which I am the producer of, so even I have censored my own self.
Lovely, but you know, I like the fact that you do your films, then you take a break, then you're in, you know, Goa, then you're in LA, then you come back. I think it's just perfect. How do you strike that balance? Because I'm sure many in your industry cannot. You have to be constantly seen. Airport look nahi aaya, Instagram post nahi gaya, gym ka wo nahi aaya. At 6 pack, 8 packs ho gaye, 8K 10 packs ho gaye.
Yeah, I guess because I never was trying to be part of a race or hit a number and prove a point. Yeah. I was always like, no, okay, you know, let's hope I'll be able to survive doing the stuff I love.
Yeah.
You don't always get what you want, even in what I do. But because I'm not in a race, I'm not competing with anyone. And so it allows me to have a more laid back or slower pace of delivery. But yes, if I was playing the star game, then it would be, I would also have to do the same thing everybody else is doing, you know, because you have to, it's just the structure.
True. Yeah. And maybe recreate a Chris Rock and a Will Smith lap too.
I wouldn't mind. That'd be great. I would love to do something more mainstream, you know, but I'm just not in that zone in that space of people. So.
But it's funny, it happened there. I thought it would likely happen at one of our award ceremonies. They gave us
that would happen. Yeah, I don't know. It's a different culture, but it's the same animal, so to speak, the industry. Yeah.
So coming back to Jungle Cry, I mean, now that it's out, and what is the message that you actually want to, because I think kids need to be encouraged, because we had just Mr. Bachchan's movie also, June, similar premise of NGO of, you know, kids from, you know, the not so upwardly mobile straight of society. So what is it that you want to see happening in terms of stories like these?
Well, you obviously want a lot more people to watch it and get this information out there, that an institute like this actually exists, that we are a diverse country, you know, diverse communities. There is, of course, a lot of poverty as well, and that talent can be spotted anywhere. You know, it can be in the metros, it can be in the villages, and that we should highlight, even if it may not be a mainstream popular sport or narrative, we should still give it a chance, because the more we give it a chance, the more likely people are going to be encouraged, because if the money's come in, then filmmakers will be encouraged to take more experiments because they can be paid back. You can't blame people for not experimenting, because you've got to still feed yourself at the end of the day. And if experimenting is driving all the money away, then people are not going to experiment because they have to support themselves too. So the message is watch variety of shows and movies and plots, embrace the diversity this country has, and so that you can get more and more narratives like these.
Absolutely.
You know.
And lastly, have you watched anything like spectacular that you want to recommend and that made you like, oh my God?
I saw The Landscapers, which I thought was really good show. They experimented with the format. I'm sure it's Landscapers, right? Olivia Colman and David Thewlis. Yeah, they were the just fantastic show overall. Wow. That's a really nice one. But I think it's on Hulu or HBO. I don't know. None of which are here yet. Wow. Yeah. Cool. But we're going to stick to Lionsgate Play because that's what our movie is. And we shall watch anything that Lionsgate has on their platform.
Exactly. We shall watch that. So
that's some great stuff.
Jungle Cry, I'm hoping to meet you in person soon if you're not in LA.
Yeah, let's hope so. Yeah, it'd be great to sit across the table from you. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All the very best. How's the art coming around? Have you created anything new lately?
I haven't, but I don't know. I will at some point. Hope so.
Looking forward to that as well. All the very best. Take care. Be safe.
Bye. Take care. Bye.
If you've liked this interview, please like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram.